Welcome to the Xander Zone. This is episode 193 of Dude and a Monkey. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by my extreme co-host,
Mark Foster. Hello, everybody. Yes, we are going XXX for this one, aren't we?
It is triple exploitation.
Yes, it is. Triple exploitation.
So we are going to be reviewing all three Triple X films for some reason.
Yes, for some reason.
Which I think it was my idea. So, hey, sorry in advance. Maybe or maybe not.
Maybe not. Well, do you know what? Let's wait and see.
Quite. So yeah, we'll also. I think it might be slightly time dependent, but we might do a bit of what else we watched as well. Like I've seen 3 films in the cinema over the past 3 days, and they weren't just 3 Triple X films. So I do have some other stuff to talk about, but we'll see how it goes. We'll also talk some trailers and whatnot. So we may as well just get straight into trailers, actually, Mark, unless you've got anything to get off your chest.
No. It's been a week where it's been good to switch off and power down a little bit. I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think nothing's happened, has it? Nothing weird or nothing, possibly life-threatening has happened, has it?
No, I mean, I don't know. The concept of alternative facts is terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think we've said we're not going to go political on the show. I will just say I'm pretty confident in the fact that there are plenty of people in the media who don't seem to be swallowing the shit that Trump and co are shoveling, that I think it's going to be all right.
I think it could be right. I think it's interesting, the immediate shift in dynamic of what seems to have happened is certain elements of the media have gone, hang on a minute, no. You can get away with it when you are celebrity idiot Donald Trump. Now you're actually president, you can't get away with this bullshit. You're dealing with a different class of journalist. Mm-hmm. Somebody, who now your main focus and the people that you've got to spend day-to-day time with talking to are not the sort of people who, and not a criticism, but are not essentially BuzzFeed journalists. They are proper journalists who will, when your people use things like alternative facts, will say that is bullshit. And let's be honest, I will never ever, and I could keep going, tire of watching a white supremacist get punched in the face to various different songs, different music, and anything. And I am waiting for the supercut that somebody puts together of Donald Trump's inauguration speech that includes all of the scenes from movies that it was just fucking stolen from. The fact that some of it's stolen from the B movie is incredible.
Yes, it is. That is amazing. But let's move on.
I'll be honest. I've only watched one trailer this past week.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I usually watch them like before the show, but I've been again quite busy with work. But I'll be honest, I just forgot to watch any trailers. However, I did watch the new Logan trailer, and genuinely, I don't think I've been this excited for a movie. Right, let's say it, right. If I got a message right now that said there's an advanced screening happening in an hour's time for Logan in, let's say, Leeds, which is about 30 minutes away from me, and it's £100, I'd be going, Ian, we have to record tomorrow night or Tuesday night, I need to go and watch Logan. And I would gladly pay £100 right now to watch it, because I just want to see it. It looks... If it's anything like the first 2 trailers have been, it looks like a perfect movie for me and a perfect superhero movie for me. I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's there are a number of very interesting things about this. The fact that the X-Men comics exist in this film is
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And that's a very it's a very big thing to show in a trailer as well.
But the thing is, it says, look, we could do anything here. Like, this is the real world in which the X-Men inhabit, and the comics are there as well.
Yeah.
We don't have to pull anything from the comics. This is, I mean, yes, it's kind of apparently based on this Old Man Logan thing, but it does kind of feel like it's going to do its own thing. And I like the fact that essentially the most dangerous character in the film appears to be the little girl that he's assigned to protect, or whatever is actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the aesthetic of it looks really interesting. Frankly, I think Professor X is going to die, which is like properly die, just like old man die,
Yeah.
which is weird.
I have a feeling that because this is very much it very much Hugh Jackman is very, this is my last outing of Wolverine. And he said this is my last full outing as Wolverine, is what he said.
He's in Deadpool 2, man. He's going to be in Deadpool 2.
I think that is it. I think he's in Deadpool 2. I think that's what he's leaving the door open for that. And I think this will be his last proper outing as Wolverine. I could see, because he was also asked, wasn't he, about it being, how him no longer being would affect future X-Men movies, and he said, well, how is this linked to any of the X-Men movies? And I said, well, it's part of canon. His response, apparently, I haven't read the interview, I've seen it in the interview. He said, is it?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, have they just blown open a world by going, well, you know what? We can do what the fuck we want with this because we went back in time, for Christ's sake. This could be an alternate timeline. It could be anything.
Exactly.
So there's all that going on. Plus the story looks fantastic. The fact that it's an R-rated Logan movie. The fact that it seems we're spending a lot more time with Logan than we are with Wolverine is going to be interesting. I have a feeling that, I'm going to put it out there now, I think he's going to die in it and it's going to make me cry. So yeah, it's very interesting. But what other trailers have you seen?
Couple Chips. The
yeah. I but it's TV. Hello?
Yeah, no, you were cutting out a bit there, mate. Sorry, say again.
It's a TV trailer, that wasn't it?
TV
Chips.
trailer?
Chips is for a TV series, isn't it?
No, it's a movie, bud.
Is it? I thought it was a TV series.
Michael Pena and Dane Cook. I think it's Dane Cook. Yeah, it's a film trailer.
Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard, fucking whoever, one of them.
Yeah. I thought it was for a fucking, what is it? I thought it was for a TV series.
Yeah, no, it's a film. Yeah, I mean...
I've seen...
You say you've... Sorry, you're cutting, you're cutting out something rotten, Mark.
I'm still cutting out. I've seen that trailer actually, though.
Okay, what do you think?
It looks amusing.
Does it, though?
It kind of did, yeah. But then again, I quite like Dax Shepard, so, and I admit that he's an acquired taste. But I was amused enough by it that I'll give it a go. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to on VOD.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think listeners kind of got the gist of that, but not the whole thing.
Am I still cutting out like that?
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Is that any better?
Sorry?
Any better?
Sorry, say again?
Yeah, I think it's my laptop, this might be.
Are you on any other applications or anything?
Shouldn't fucking be, but...
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, okay, cool.
100%.
If I forget to edit this out,
Is that any
apologies.
better? Yeah, is that any better?
Yeah, well, I heard the whole thing then.
Oh, right, cool. Yeah. Any other applications that were running?
Okay. Alright, so, yeah, Chips, I like fucking whatever. I'll watch it at some point, probably. If it's anything above 90 minutes, my interest will wane very, very quickly, but, yeah. And last one for me, Power Rangers, which I think looks like it could be fun. If there's nothing else out that week, I would happily go see it. It's better than the first trailer.
Yes, it is better than the first trailer. It doesn't look quite as moody as the first trailer.
Elizabeth Banks looks like she's gonna actually be pretty good in it as well. It doesn't look like she's going campy. That she is actually going to be playing into the threatening, which works better in the trailers than it did in those initial pictures of her, because she looked very silly out of context, but in it with like CG augmentation, I think she looks all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that's it. It all depends. It's a hard sell, I think, Power Rangers, in the same way as Turtles was. I think it's a hard sell.
I used to fucking love Power Rangers when I was younger, though, man. Like, they were my Transformers, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, there is that. It's interesting the fact that they're still around, Power Rangers. They still appeal to people. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can sell up that nostalgia whilst also keeping all generations of Power Rangers fans kind of happy.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it could either really hit or it will do really badly. It's not one that's going to go in the middle. Like, and I think it depends on what the cultural mood is like immediately before it. Like something like Deadpool, where like a year out, it feels like it's not going to do anything. 6 months out, it doesn't feel like it's going to do anything, and then it just starts creeping in, and then it ramps itself up, and then kind of explodes when it comes out. And it would be interesting to see if Power Rangers can do something like that. But then you don't have Ryan Reynolds doing Australia Day promos and stuff, so maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like give it a chance worthy.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in there to put me off, is what I will say.
Okay, so let's move on then. XXxploitation begins with 2001's 2002's Triple X, directed by Rob Cohen and starring Vin Diesel, Asia Argento, Martin Sokas, and Samuel L. Jackson as Gibbons, which all three of these films have that credit, and Samuel L. Jackson as Gibbons.
Yep.
So, story is a James Bond-looking motherfucker has trouble fitting in at a rock concert and gets deaded.
Yeah.
And so Samuel L. Jackson has to turn to an extreme sports enthusiast / partaker.
Obviously.
Xander Cage, obviously, played by Vin Diesel, because he can fit in with those people. And he has to, he at first genuinely befriends, and then has to go up against Martin Sokas's, whatever his name is.
Yorgi,
and Asia Argento's
Yelena.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's about it. He surfs down a staircase with a tea tray at one point, and extreme sports people cameo really awkwardly.
Yeah.
In one of the worst party sequences you'll probably ever see. Triple X.
Which, actually, interestingly enough, that is filmed inside Tony Hawk's loft.
Fuck's sake.
That space is actually Tony Hawk's.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. So, Triple X came at a time where Bond was not
Yeah.
Bond of now. It was the same year as Die Another Day.
Which was interesting because that was directed by
Lee Tamahori.
Lee Tamahori, wasn't it? Yeah, who
Yeah.
went on to direct the next film.
Indeed. And so this was seen as this generation's Bond, or not. This was how it was seen, how they wanted it to be seen. When The Bourne Identity, I think, also came out in 2002, and
Yes, I think you're right there. Yeah.
and was that generation's Bond. So, or at least until Casino Royale came along. So, Triple X is fascinatingly naff.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is. I'd forgotten how aching this film is to appear like a Bond movie, and it really is, isn't it? With the soundtrack and everything. When the Elderman's soundtrack.
It is properly like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's so Bondy. It's also quite strange the fact that this is this is like the year after, I believe, the Fast and the Furious, and it's
that was 2000.
And didn't Rob Cohen direct the first Fast and Furious movie?
Indeed.
Yeah, so it's them guys teaming up to essentially. And what's weird is when this came out, this was seen as the next step for them. You know, the Fast and Furious universe wasn't going to really exist, and not for Vin Diesel. This was going to be his franchise, his Bond, quite simply. And it is fascinating enough in the fact that it is essentially a snapshot of stereotypes thrown together in a world of look at this and look at this and look at this and look at this and look at that and look at this. This film is just telling you to look at things and hoping that whilst you're looking at all of these things, you don't realise that the story is frankly ridiculous. And it's over 2 hours long. Why is it so long?
Yeah, 132 minutes. I don't know. I mean, you've got. I mean, like, just the soundtrack is so early noughties. It's untrue. I mean, you got Rammstein, Drowning Pool, Hatebreed, Queens of the Stone Age. You know, I'll give you that. God, what is that song? That song's got a really long title as well. You think I ain't worth $1, but I feel like a millionaire, or something. Like, very, very, which is a great tune. Fucking Songs for the Deaf Man, one album. But like NERD, you know, Gavin Rossdale does the fucking end credits song. It's, you know, it is what Rob Cohen, I think, was like in his 40s or 50s at the time. He plays like the pizza delivery guy who gets told to fuck off in the first Fast and the Furious.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he looked like he was getting on a bit then.
He will have been in his 50s.
Yeah, and you've got this guy there to direct this film, which wants to be like every 12-year-old boy's favourite film. And I mean, I'll admit, I bought it on DVD at the time.
I bought it on DVD.
I did a double bill of that and Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was staying with a mate at his uni one afternoon in 2002, the day before going to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And
was that the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, the original. Like,
the original?
Like, literally, like, just on DVD on his computer in his dorm room smoking weed. And, yeah, before seeing the Chili's. And, again, that feels... And that was at the time of By the Way, where the Chili's were, like, hot again in the early noughties. And I just... Everything about this film I associate with the early noughties. You've got the extreme sports. You've got Matt Hoffman and fucking Tony Hawk popping up.
Yeah.
The whole, like, raging against the machine thing, where at the start he's nicking that guy's car and, you know, welcome to the Xander Zone, and fuck me. I mean, like, he's really good at shooting. It's like, how are you so good at shooting? I was in a cast for a month and all I did was play first-person shooter video games.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he says video games is not anything that a person who plays games would say.
No.
Lottie says video games because she's free. So it just...
But the weird thing is, Vin Diesel is a hardcore gamer.
Which is the mental thing. He's so hardcore, he founded his own game studio so that they could do those Chronicles of Riddick games. Which apparently are good.
Apparently, well, I played the first one, it's fantastic.
Well, Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard it was good, yeah. So, I mean, that's the crazy thing. But he's also a guy who's really into his fan. He is an odd character, is Vin Diesel, because
he's a fascinating character, and I'll talk about him more when we discuss Return of Xander Cage. To be honest, but yes, he's a fascinating character because at this point he was a proper movie star.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the Fast and Furious made him fucking huge.
Yeah, and off the back of Pitch Black and things like that, there was he was a proper movie star. And this was supposed to be the movie that launched him, and established him and set him as a movie star. Cruise has got the Mission Impossible movies. He's going to have this, and this every 3 years he's going to have one of these, and that's it. And it just didn't quite work. Really.
I mean, we'll get to it obviously, but yeah, I mean the action is very, very forgettable. I mean, there's reliance on practical stuff, which I appreciate.
But
to an extent, but there is CG, but it feels more worthy than the action in, say, Die Another Day, where it feels like Pierce Brosnan wasn't doing anything apart from being against the green screen.
Yeah,
there is a sense of they are doing this stuff in real locations.
Oh, absolutely,
to a large extent, which was refreshing. Now, anyway.
It's certainly admirable. The problem is with that is there's an awful lot of times where he does the extreme sports things, where you kind of go, okay, fine, I get it. He saw a motorbike and he did a big jump on it. However, I don't see why he would have done all of that.
Oh, no,
it doesn't
I mean,
make sense.
It makes no sense. That jump where he's escaping the drug cartel.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to distract them with his extreme moves. Like, that's the point. He just wants to make the guards stunned into a reverie.
And it is a bit like, hang on a minute. You got that bike and you were literally about 10, 15 yards away from the guy with the jippy leg. And then you rode it in the opposite direction for a good 2 minutes. And then you jumped over a fence and you rode it back in the other direction that you'd previously been coming and picked the guy up after jumping over a building. Hang on a minute. Why did you jump a fence? Surely you were outside of the compound that we then see an aerial shot of, and there's no fucking fence there. And then you jump over a building, and you clear, must be 70 or 80 yards. It is literally, when some fucking curmudgeon-y bastard did that thing and said, the runway for the end of Fast and Furious 6 would have had to have been 5 miles long. It's like, hang on a minute, no, not everything was happening at the same time, you miserable twat. So it didn't have to be that long. And yes, it's a film. But even I was looking at this scene and going, this is just stupid. And I love stupid, but this is just stupid.
Yeah, and which is absolutely fair. I think it's also worth pointing out that Vin Diesel and Asia Argento kissing is like watching a brother and a sister kissing.
Yeah, but let's face it, I don't think this is Vin Diesel's fault. I do a little bit. Watching Vin Diesel kiss any woman always a little bit uncomfortable. He seems like a little bit uncomfortable with that. But also as well, whenever you see Asia Argento kissing anybody in a film, it always feels a little weird. That she's got a weird sexual air about her as Asia Argento.
For sure.
In the sense of she's a very attractive woman, but she's also a very terrifying looking woman as well. She looks like the sort of, if you looked at her wrong, like in a bar or anything like that, you could end up in a bath of ice without any kidneys, like an hour later.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, their whole relationship is really shittily handled as well. The fact that that he's told to go home, and it's like, but she's still there, and you don't believe that at all. Incidentally, also in terms of not believing things, I love the fact that Samuel L. Jackson gets an opera put on just so he can have a meeting with Xander.
Yeah, it's so weird. Do you know what the really strange thing about this movie is? I watched it maybe, except I owned it on DVD as well, but I watched it maybe the last time about 7 or 8 years ago.
It's been at least a decade for me.
Yeah, I'd say that. It might even be long. Might even be a decade for me, actually. Maybe. I'm not sure. But the only things I could remember about this movie is Asia Argento's in it, and it's strange seeing it in this type of movie. And the coat. They're the only things that I could remember about this movie was the Asia Argento, it's strange that she's in it, the coat, and the guy who Vin Diesel says, "Why'd you do that? You know that thing is going to kill you faster than a bullet." And then, what do you know? I remember that bit as well.
Weirdly, I always thought there was a bit in this film that was a tribute to RoboCop, where the guy says "bitches leave," but I think he says "bitches come."
Yes. He does.
It's like, is that a really weird reference to RoboCop in itself?
It could be. It could just be an accident. You never know.
No, I mean, it probably is, but I always had it because I was waiting for him to say "bitches leave."
Yeah. The thing is, when I was watching it as well, when he was telling the Anarchy 99 story, I was thinking, they've done really well for themselves. If they formed in 1999, and let's face it, this movie was released in 2002, so it was probably made in 2001. To go from being just a group of mercenaries in 1999 who staged a kind of coup, to essentially being, having an underground fucking lair with all of these scientists in that have created a proper full-scale chemical weapon in 2 years. That's seriously impressive terrorism work.
Agreed. Absolutely. I hope my fart didn't get picked up on the recording there, but I've got a terrible feeling it did. Yeah.
It did.
Sorry. I'm on my bed in a dressing gown, and literally looking at where the mic is pointed, it's pretty much pointed at my arse. So I'm so sorry. I'm gonna move that. Go.
It's too late.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. Everyone farts. But what was I going to say? Yeah. Or I've got to say as well, Silent Night. It dissolves in water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, Vin Diesel shoves the rocket down and it explodes in that lake or that river.
Yeah.
If I were the people standing on that bridge, I'd be running like fuck because it dissolves in water. But what if it hasn't fully dissolved? That explosion caused an awful lot of water to come shooting up into the air.
Yeah. And what's it going to be like next time it rains around there?
Straight up, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
There's so many questions.
It's just going to rain Silent Night,
There's so many questions that not a single person involved in the making of this movie ever thought to ask.
No, and I mean, to be fair, they probably thought no one would ever ask them as well. So it just... I don't know, man. It's very, very, very silly, but I quite enjoy my time watching it.
Do you know what? I happy. I wish it was 20 minutes
Yeah,
shorter.
I'd agree with that.
Absolutely, but rewatching it. Here's a question: will I watch it again at some point? Yeah, probably. Was when we said this watching it, did I think, oh, I don't want to watch that again? I was like, do you know what? Gives me an excuse to rewatch Triple X.
Yeah, yeah, I'd go with that. I'd happily rewatch it. Love the coat. We'll talk more about the coat later.
Yeah,
Um,
the fact it's a fucking character practically is amazing.
it just actually, I'll just say it now. I love how much weird nostalgia the third film has for his coat.
Yeah,
Like, it's
it's so
hilarious.
strange the fact that it's mentioned. It's like I thought that's weird because, like I say, I associate the first film with that coat. It is if
Yeah.
you mention Triple X to me, the first scene I think of is him getting up hungover and putting that massive coat on.
It looks like an amazingly warm coat.
It does. It looks like a nice coat to wear.
You know, like which fair enough given where they are.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I it just
It's definitely not
it's
shit for me.
endearingly naff, this film.
Yeah, it's definitely not shit for me.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, which is definitely not shit, and I'm comfortable with that. I wouldn't give it any more,
No,
but
it's a solid 7 out of 10 movie.
fair enough. Yeah.
It has fun with itself. I think this one maybe takes itself the most serious out of the. Well, maybe not actually. It takes itself more serious than the Return of Xander Cage.
Yeah. We'll get to that. So yeah, no, absolutely. So let's move on then. 2005's Triple X, either State of the Union or the Next Level,
Yeah,
depending on like which country you're in. I
yeah.
think it was the Next Level over here.
I think it was the next level over here. Yeah,
Yeah. Stars Ice Cube, Willem Dafoe, Samuel L. Jackson again, the annoying tech guy from the first one,
yeah,
in an expanded role, yay,
yeah.
and others.
Scott Speedman's in it.
Scott Speedman, yeah, of course he is. He's
I
actually
like Scott Speedman
I quite like Scott Speedman as well.
as an actor. He should have done more. I
Yeah,
always think.
he's had a weird career, and Exhibit as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Uh,
Yeah.
so this time around, um, Xander Cage is killed in Bora Bora.
Of course he is.
Is said in one throwaway line, which I think was symptomatic of the issues that they had with Vin Diesel on this film.
Yep.
So this time, how does it start? The Triple X unit is attacked by mysterious forces. Gibbons and Tech Guy go on the run, looking for a new Triple X who's going to be even more badass and extreme. And they
more attitude.
More attitude. That was it. And they find it in the doughiest secret agent you'll ever see.
Oh my god!
Ice Cube's Darius Stone.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Can we address that? Can we address this?
He's straight up fat.
The elephant in the fucking room. Actually, the guy who probably ate the fucking elephant in the room. Right, Ice Cube. Right, Vin Diesel is, he's a guy, who looks after himself. You can tell he still looks after himself now. He does have a more bodybuilder figure than he does kind of like, let's say, for instance, you've got Daniel Craig is quite muscular but quite lean, whereas Vin Diesel's got the more 80s style action hero physique rather than 90s style action hero physique. Ice Cube has never been the most ripped of guys. Let's be honest, he's always looked a little bit doughy, and his attitude, the attitude is just all attitude. But I quite enjoy Ice Cube as an actor. I thought he was very good in Boys in the Hood. And I think he's been very good in the comedic stuff he's done in the past few years. He's not an action star at all. It is watching him do any of like the action scenes where he's having a fight is painfully bad. It is like watching a guy who wants to prove to you so much that they are tough. Not the character, the actor, that he is tough.
I mean,
That it was just, oh God, you can literally hear the choreography going on.
Yeah, I mean, I fully believe that Ice Cube could kick my ass. I'm not calling him a weakling or anything,
No.
but he's being asked to present himself as being able to do things in this film.
But what I will say is I don't think Ice Cube has ever been in a gym. Ever.
Sure.
Ever. We're talking about a guy who became very famous, very popular, and quite well off when he was a teenager with NWA. I don't think he's ever been in a gym. I just don't think he gives a shit. I think he looks like that all of the time. He's looked pretty much the same throughout his entire career.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he totally fucking has. I mean, like, Christ, his son in Straight Outta Compton, it's not like they got a muscular, athletic person to play him there.
No.
You know, he's still quite big, and, you know, at least they're not rewriting history in that way with that film. It's not very good.
No.
But I didn't enjoy watching it as much as the first XXX, but I didn't hate it. But mainly because I found things funny. I love that they're calling it the XXX program now, and they've stolen Vin Diesel's tattoo and put it on the doors everywhere in that facility. That made me laugh. That was early on. Ice Cube breaking out of that prison and jumping to catch that helicopter, and it kind of looked more like he was going to bring the helicopter down than anything else. That was a delight.
It also looked like he was going to miss.
Yeah.
Looked like he had missed.
No, it does, but it does though, doesn't it? Because they do that like kind of wide shot of him jumping for it, and it doesn't feel like he's got enough momentum.
Yeah. It's almost like, right, Cube, can you run? And he's going, yeah. And he's like, could you run a bit faster? All right then. Could you run a bit faster? Like, oh yeah, that's as fast as I can run. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Who thought it was a good idea that they could consider Ice Cube an upgrade to Vin Diesel as an action hero?
I mean, they're obviously trying to go for a different audience here. I mean, it kind of feels like if this was 2005, in 2003 or 4, something for an African American audience hit big in the US box office, and they were like, we need us some of that.
Yeah, it's such a weird film.
It feels like Gladiator being big, and then a couple years later you get Troy. It feels like there must have been something that came out a couple years beforehand that provoked it.
I mean, the other films that the other film he had out that year was Are We There Yet?
Yeah. Oh my God, man, what a double bill that would be.
Yeah, and the film he made after it was Are We Done Yet?
There you go. I do like the fact that every single black person in this film is a good guy. I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or at least the major characters, anyway. And it is basically, it does kind of seem like it's going against Trump's America. Like the US government of that time in the George H.W. Bush era, or is it W? I think it's
Bush.
Is it just W? Yeah, I get confused between the two sometimes. that feels like an innocent era now, frankly.
Yeah.
And some shady shit happened back then, you know, but
It's a little bit like an amuse-bouche to the fucking plate of shit that they're just serving right now.
yeah. It's almost charming how these are bad white people. Let's defeat the bad white people. We've defeated the bad white people.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of weirdly respect that. And so, I mean, you can obviously see where it's going for there, but action, not great, way more CG addled, which, to be fair, it's Ice Cube, so you probably have to. Willem Dafoe, in his stock Hollywood shady guy role, that is the shit he could do in his sleep, and I mean, he's obviously just doing it to pay the bills, and I mean, around that time he was in The Life Aquatic as well, and it's, you know, if it means he gets to do stuff like that, and, you know, maybe gets that film a bit more notice because he's been in other bigger films, then, you know, good for him. But, I mean, not very good. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it, really, is there?
There's not. I didn't hate it because there's not a lot to hate about it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I was very, very bored, is what I will say. Which for an action movie is not what you'd expect. You should at least be able to get along with it or have a little bit of fun with it. Whereas I was just very, very bored. I was actually looking at it going, end. And there was like half an hour left.
So I watched about half of it on a treadmill. So it was my treadmill film this week. And, you know, that it fit that very well.
Yeah, I should have watched it doing something else.
Yeah. Didn't have to think much. Took my mind off of, like, how long I'd been running for. So, you know, for that, cool. But, you know, very, very little of any real worth whatsoever, but didn't hate it. Touching cloth.
I think it's shit, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I couldn't. I wouldn't be honest if I wasn't gonna sort of say that. Yeah, I think it's shit. Lee Tamahori's had a weird career, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a fucking weird guy, isn't he? So it's
yeah, you know, really promising, and then just really just weird after that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he did The Edge. Fucking hell.
He did The Edge. I rewatched that recently, actually. So yeah, he did Once Were Warriors, which is a great movie, actually.
That was his like breakout, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mulholland Falls, The Edge.
Mulholland Falls is good, actually. Yeah, Mulholland Falls is actually very good, actually.
God. Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that, actually. Wow, 2015 he made his first feature in New Zealand since Once Were Warriors. Fair play.
Oh, is that Mahana?
Sorry?
Is that Mahana?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got mixed reviews, I think.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, directed by DJ Caruso.
When that appeared on screen, I went, what?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah, even though, to be fair, it kind of feels like Vin Diesel just had his hand up his arse and was, like, puppeting him. So
yeah, it kind of feels, a little bit like DJ Caruso will go and watch it one day and go, what?
Yeah,
Did I?
I don't remember being there. So, all spoilers all the time. Starts off with possibly one of the greatest opening sequences in cinema history, where Samuel L. Jackson is trying to recruit Neymar Jr. Something comes up on the screen saying that Neymar Jr. thought that Samuel L. Jackson wanted to recruit him into the Avengers, which is amazing.
Can we just point out, all spoilers all the time, when we say Neymar Jr., we mean Neymar Jr., not Neymar Jr. playing a character. He's playing himself.
I mean, there's a title card at the end of the film that says Neymar Jr. as Neymar Jr. It's wonderful. then Neymar Jr. stops a robbery using his footballing skills.
Have you noticed though when he kicks the napkin dispenser, it goes straight up in the air, yet it hits a guy who's directly in front of him.
Oh, that's a
It
fair
did make me
point.
go, surely you'd have like more than one take.
Yeah, but then Samuel L. Jackson reacts with the real world equivalent of his tweets whenever Liverpool win a game. Which,
Yeah.
I don't know, and then they both get blown up. Just,
Which makes you think, can you imagine the Barcelona president taking that call? What? He's started a robbery and then got blown up.
Yeah.
Where? What? Why was he even there?
Yeah.
But a fucking Nike.
I just the fact
It's so weird. Why is it Neymar?
It's the fact that there's a title card that said he thought he was being recruited into the Avengers, and it's a character played by Samuel L. Jackson. I
was also surprised to see Samuel L. Jackson back in it, because I thought, hang on a minute, he's essentially just playing Nick Fury in this.
Yeah, but okay. Anyway, so that happens.
Yes, that happens.
God, I want to do a commentary on this so bad. So it turns out Xander Cage
is... At some point.
Sorry?
I think we will at some point.
Oh, fuck me. So it turns out Xander Cage isn't dead. He's actually hiding out in Bora Bora, hooking up the people there with illegally streamed
Free
football.
cable.
There's an action scene in this film where his purpose is so that people can watch a football match.
And yes, and we had an action scene where he skis down a mountain without any snow.
Oh, fuck.
It's glorious.
Anyway,
it literally is like Vin Diesel discovered football 6 months before they started making this, and just he wanted to make it all about football, and somebody went, no, that film exists, it's called Shaolin Soccer, and he went, oh damn, well I need to do this to them, this to them, this to them, we need to get Neymar in it.
Fuck, I just need to get through the synopsis so we can talk about it. Anyway, sorry. He's re-recruited by Tony Collette because Pandora's box is it's something that can make satellites fall out of the air and kill Neymar Jr. And he recruits his own team of ragtag people, one of whom's skill set is literally that he's a really good DJ. He doesn't actually do a single other thing in the film.
He's fun to be around.
His special skill, he's fun to be around. I mean, fuck. Anyway, I fucking loved Return of Xander Cage. I fucking loved it. I cannot express how much fun I had watching this film. This film knows what it is reveling in it. And if this film had a Fast and Furious title on it, people would be fucking cumming themselves over it. If this was Fast and Furious 8, this would not be getting nearly as many 1 and 2 star fucking reviews from people on Letterboxd and whatnot. It would not be getting nearly as much fucking snidey Twitter shit. Would I rather watch this or Fast 7? Give me this and I like Fast 7. Give me this every time. I had a fucking blast, and if I wasn't busy, I would have walked straight back in and watched it again. I fucking loved it.
I didn't love it as much as you, but I did enjoy my time with it immensely at points. And at points, I flitted between, this is absolute fucking nonsense.
Oh, but it's glorious nonsense.
But at no point, right, in its 107 minutes, at no point, I'm surprised only 107 minutes, I thought it was longer, to be honest. At no point was I bored. At no point was I looking at my watch thinking, kind of do this ending right now. The characters are either brilliant and I wanted to spend more time with them, or I was going, oh God, no, go away. Bring back somebody else. To some of the characters. It is monumentally stupid, but it is incredibly aware of how monumentally stupid it is.
It knows it's so
there
bad.
Are some characters that are just beyond irritating, but I think they're supposed to be beyond irritating. I don't get how I simply do not get. I know why this film got made. It got made because Vin Diesel essentially wanted to make it. He wanted to make it, and he said, "Right, I want to make Triple X. I want to come back and do that character. It's my Bond. I want to redo it." And they've gone, "He didn't really work." And he's gone, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want 3 more Fast and Furious movies? Because I just heard you say you didn't."
It's a different distributor, mind.
I still reckon he did that, and they went, "What?" I still reckon he pulled the Fast and Furious card.
So, I mean, the thing is, you know, it's a it's a diverse cast, which people are constantly pointing out with Fast and Furious and saying how great it is.
Well, this is what I was saying about, we'll get on the interesting Vin Diesel thing, right? Vin Diesel is doing more for diversity in Hollywood than anybody else.
Yep. That is fucking brilliant.
And that is an alternative fact. That is a fact, right? He is the driving force behind this movie, and he is the driving force behind the Fast and Furious movies. He is the driving force behind ensuring that there is a vast array of multiculturalism within both sets of movies. It is him who is bringing these people on board. It is him who wanted to bring on Donnie Yen. It is him who wanted to bring on Deepak Panduke. It's him who wanted to bring on Tony Yar. In both of them, it's phenomenal. He is doing more, and these are massive tentpole features. And he's such a strange character in terms of the way he is, because he's almost become one of the most important people in Hollywood without being considered A-list, and just completely by accident. It's sort of strange, but he gets with it by being a phenomenally nice person. I've had a phone call conversation with Vin Diesel before.
What?
Yeah. I had a phone call conversation with Vin Diesel when I worked at Phones for You.
Right.
There was a phone called an 8910i, which was it was like a chrome phone that had a button that you pressed down and it flipped down, and it was like an exclusive phone. You couldn't sell it on contracts. You could only sell it as a SIM-only phone. Not as a SIM-only, as a SIM-free phone.
Yeah.
And my store had one of only 3 left in the company. And Vin Diesel wanted this phone, and he'd gone into the store in Manchester when he was filming, I don't know which film it would have been. It might be one of the Riddick ones. I think it might have been Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, that would kind of make sense. Well, like around 2005,
Ooh.
Or 2003.
2003, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Riddick was 2003, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, I think it was when he was filming that, I'm not sure, but he was filming something. He was in Manchester, and he was in the Manchester store, and they were telling me on the phone, because you weren't allowed to store transfer these phones. And they're saying, you need to store transfer it. We've got somebody who wants it. And I'm saying, fuck off, no way, I can sell it here. And it made you a crazy amount of commission. I said, I'm not doing it, because if I send it to you, you sell it, I lose the phone. They said, no, seriously, it's for Vin Diesel. And I was like, fuck off, it's for Vin Diesel. And they were like, no, genuinely, it's for Vin Diesel. Going, fuck off, it's for Vin Diesel. And they said, he's in the store now. And I was like, if Vin Diesel is in that store right now, you put him on the fucking phone. And what's it? And Vin Diesel can ask me for this phone. And I thought, because they're bullshitting me.
Yeah.
Right? And fucking Vin Diesel comes on the phone and goes, hey man, I know that you're not supposed to do this, and I get that, but I'm here, I really like the phone, it's really fucking cool, it'd be really cool if you could do me this one solid. I was like, hang on a minute. I was like, what was the movie? And I actually asked him.
Fuck off, you asked him to... Oh, yes, what did you ask him?
I asked him what the movie he was in with Giovanni Ribisi was called. And he went, what? It's like, you're in a movie with Giovanni Ribisi. What was it called? Because there's no way any of those fucking idiots in the Manchester store will have seen this movie. And he went, Boiler Room.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, you're really Vincent Diesel, aren't you? And he was like, yeah, I am. It's like, all right, fine, I'll send him the phone. It'll be here tomorrow.
Mate, I would have been like, I'll get in the fucking car, bud. Like, I'm off.
Yeah, I did think to do it at the time. I'd have been now, I'd have been like, I will do it, but I will bring it to you personally. But yeah, I had a phone call conversation with Vin Diesel. It lasted about a minute.
Was he all right though?
He was a lovely guy. I spoke to the guys in Manchester later on. They said he said about it later on. I was like, can't believe that's actually Vin Diesel. This was the thing. This was before kind of camera phones existed.
Yeah.
Really, there was a couple out there, but they weren't. Nobody had one.
By the way, was it a Nokia?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just the 8910. It sounds like it would be a Nokia. Yeah.
An 8910i. Yeah, and he was a lovely guy. Apparently, so he was just really nice, and just I'll ask him for it.
You see, the only fucking phone conversation I've had at work with a kind of famous person was the guy who wrote The Reader. The fucking, what was it?
Oh, the
Kate Winslet film from... Yeah, I renewed his car insurance. I took a fucking shitload off as well. More than I was supposed to, because I knew who he was, and we were... Like, we sent him a fucking ridiculously upped renewal, and it was like, no, I'll fucking take it off for you straight away. I was like, are you... Like, because I recognised the name, looked it up on IMDb real quick, and I was like, you wrote The Reader, didn't you? Like, and he was just like, oh, how do you know that? It was just like, films and whatnot. It was like, right, I'm gonna hook you up because you're probably the only famous person I'll ever speak to. That and a guy, I can't remember his name, but the first openly gay cricketer, that the EC that played like professionally for England. I had him on the phone at my current place of work once, and I can't remember his fucking name, and he was nice. But yeah, they were both nice. But yeah, that's fucking badass. Back to Return of Xander Cage.
Yeah.
But that's a great story. Yeah, I mean, Tony Jaa, I love the fact that I don't believe DJ Caruso gave him the piece of direction. Every single fucking time you're on screen and you're not punching someone, you're either smiling, laughing, or doing something with your hands.
Or dancing.
Like,
yeah.
He looks like he's having so much fun.
And Vin Diesel said with him that he just has all of that energy all of the time. So they basically just said, do whatever.
Great.
Just do whatever.
Great.
And there's no wires apparently at all for anything he does. None of it is wires. None of it's trickery. It's just him doing it all.
Brilliant. I mean, I don't know. You've got just the scene where they're chucking the grenade at each other, and it's just trying to be the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, we're all triple X's, we're all fucking nuts, let's fucking do this thing. Just chucking grenades around. The reveal of Darius Stone was the second time in less than 24 hours in a cinema that I actually didn't shout, but said quite loudly, shut the fuck up.
Did you know that he was in it?
No.
I have no idea. And literally, I'll be honest, at that moment, I was getting towards... I spent this entire movie swinging between this is shit to this is great. This is shit, this is great. As soon as that happened, the needle just went, yeah, there's no way this can be shit. There's no way this can be shit. Well done. Bravo. Well played.
It's just, and also, play to his fucking strengths. Don't get him running around. Give him a fucking grenade launcher.
Yeah.
You know, and then to rock up in a car at the end. And, I mean, it looks like the film hasn't really done all that well and we might not get another one. But fuck me. What I would pay to see Vin Diesel and Ice Cube head up a team with all of that other lot there.
I don't want them heading it up. I want Johnny Yen.
Yeah, no, okay, no, fair comment.
Great to see him in this.
Oh, and he gets loads to do.
Yeah. That man is 50 in his 50s. He's 53 years
Yeah,
old.
mental.
He looks incredible, and it's fantastic to see him having that much, like you say, that much to do in it. I just watched it going, I just want to see more of him in. I just want to see more movies like this where we can see things like this. He's fantastic in this. It's so entertaining. He looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, what a treat, man. Between this and Rogue One, it's like
Yeah.
suddenly Donnie Yen's in big Hollywood films. That's great.
Yeah, and I know there's a plethora of movies that aren't Hollywood movies that we can see him in, and they are fantastic. They're great
Of
to
course,
watch,
of
and
course,
I do enjoy them. But let's be honest, I don't get to see them on a massive screen.
Straight up.
And I got to see him, when he basically said, there's a great moment in the film where he goes, you have the top level, I'll have this level. And he points across and he points over at a room and there's like 6 guys in it. And you look at it and go, yeah, I'm going to get to see Donnie Yen go in there and just kick the shit out of these guys. This is going to be wonderful.
And again, he looks like, the look on his face is like serious, but also kind of just a little hint of, I'm having a really good time doing this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's a kind of a level of glee about so much of this film, and that I'm really, really into. Thing is, I saw it. I saw it after working overtime on Saturday, 11 o'clock, massive screen, Dolby Atmos. It's a weekend. I just want to fucking kick back and watch something mindlessly entertaining. And it was, but it knew it was. It was silly. There was fun action. I don't know. The coat's back. There's a scene where Vin Diesel, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, gets offered an orgy, and then at the end...
Why is Vin Diesel, Xander Cage, in this movie literally irresistible to women? Any woman who looks at him in this movie literally just goes, I want to fuck you.
It's amazing. It almost seemed like a piss take as well when those women are coming on at him, and it comes to the next morning and it's just woman after woman after woman. It kind of almost felt like it was going to go like Naked Gun and just go for a minute of all shapes and sizes before it got to him or something. It's I don't know. I don't know. It's incredible. I mean, this thing has nostalgia for a franchise that no one has nostalgia for apart from Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
The love given to the coat is incredible. Toni Collette is such a brilliant. I'm an absolute fucking
company bitch, yeah.
From the start that I can't get over it. I mean, the bit where they faked that whole scenario, and I just the bit where Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life turns up, and he says Clarence it's just like, what is this fucking film doing? And then there's that, 30 seconds later, the 360 shot of Vin Diesel just casually shooting that gun around and spinning it around at everyone. I was already in after, Neymar and Samuel L. Jackson. You give and the illegally hooked up football. You give me that stuff, great. You give me the 360 gun stuff, brilliant. You give me DJ Nick's special skill, he's fun to be around. I mean,
that is literally all he does.
His only purpose in this film is he makes a crowd get more moving.
Yeah.
So that it's harder for someone to shoot Tony Jaa. That's literally the only thing he does. But then you've got Australian lesbian sniper. She was fun. Don't remember her name.
Yeah, Ruby Rhodes. I thought she was the weakest point in the entire movie filming.
Fine.
She didn't do well.
No, I mean she did. I mean she did more than DJ Nix.
I think DJ Nix did more than her.
What did he do?
He got a crowd moving at one point.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He saved the big guy.
Yeah, Rory McCann, lots of fun. He was brilliant.
He started singing at the end.
Oh yeah, in the funeral. Which, by the way, I love the fact that literally the scene before the funeral, they're talking about how they've got to go into hiding, and then it cuts, and they're all at Gibbons' funeral.
And then Gibbons just appears at the back. if all that would have to happen is one of those people that is at his funeral would literally have to turn around and go, wait a minute,
Yeah.
he's there.
And Neymar is now his PA or whatever. Like, just this film is just intensely batshit.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I don't know how it got made.
No.
But I am glad it did. And I didn't enjoy it as much as you, but I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as you did. Would I watch another one if another one got made? If this manages somehow to make money, which it won't, but if it did, let's say, and another one got made, or even if it didn't make money, they went, do you know what, fuck it, we're still going to make another one. Then I'd be there day one to watch a repeat of this because I enjoyed time with the main characters. But I can see why it's hard for some people to digest. I think it's mean to call it shit because it's so much fun. I don't think it's trying to do anything other than just entertain people. And if you're not entertained by it, right, then why did you go and watch it?
That's it. I've like anyone who goes to see this film willingly, like if it's not for a job or something, you just want to go and see this film. I don't get how you wouldn't be entertained by it. I don't understand it. I pre-ordered the 4K. Can't wait.
If you're going to watch it to be snippy about it, just don't. You know, you know what it is. This is the third movie of this franchise. Yes, it's the first movie for like 12 years, but it's the third movie of this franchise. You know what you're gonna get from it. You know, I don't understand. You know, 1 and 2 star reviews. Review the movie for what it's trying to do, not what you expect the movie to do. This movie is trying to entertain people via being a little bit fucking daft. And you know what? It's a little bit fucking daft. There's a chase scene, for Christ's sake, where you've got Vin Diesel and Donnie Yen both running to catch the bad guy, to see who can catch the bad guy first. And they're just laughing at each other getting hit by cars.
There's that one thing where they both get hit by the car and they just look at each other and smile.
Yeah.
And it's like, just the fact that they are actually still enemies at this point. You know, I mean, it is.
They're enemies, but you know that at some point they're going to brogue.
Yeah.
You know that they're not going to end as enemies because they're both fighting for the same thing. It's just Donnie Yen wants to keep it just in case. That's it.
Yeah.
He never says he wants to sell it to the Russians or anything like that. He's just like, no, I don't think it should be destroyed. I don't think we should destroy it, but I don't think they should have it. It's like, it's. Yeah, you know what? The more I talk about it, the more I like this movie.
Mate, I don't get how I like the Fast films now. I do. I don't get how those films get passes when this doesn't.
And I can completely agree with you. The whole, even Vin Diesel seemed a little bit weirded out by the whole introduction to Becky scene.
Oh my god.
Where she keeps saying kumquat. Even he seemed a little bit like, this is fucking weird. I don't remember this being in the script.
Yeah, well,
it's magnificent.
She's like talking about how like she's got a 250 swing or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just like, oh, come on, you know. And he's a bit, exactly. He's a bit like, this is interesting. But it's like a weird energy there, which, I thought she was quite fun, actually, Nina.
I thought she was a lot, but she was irritating as fuck, but in a she's supposed to be irritating as fuck way.
Yeah.
And the fact is, the most glorious moment in this movie for me was when she drops the gun and it shoots everybody, because I thought, have they really just done a dopey girl drops the gun scene? Wow. Bravo, you're not even trying to hide it.
But then her reaction is, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. You give your warm F-bomb to that.
Yeah.
Glorious. It's one of those films, I think, that the more I watch it, I think the more I could end up falling in love with it.
Mate, like, fuck it, seriously, the amount of times I'm going to be sticking this on and cracking open a few beers,
Yeah.
like, it just...
This is a movie that I will guarantee you will watch the first 45 minutes of more than anything else, because you'll fall asleep watching it after coming in from a couple of beers and going, not quite tired yet.
Yeah.
And then watching that, and either willing yourself through all of it, or getting like an hour in and going, yeah, I'm going to go to bed now.
I mean, seriously, 1 week where there's nothing to review, we're doing a commentary. I have to.
I can see this being a Christmas commentary this year.
Yeah, that would be fine. Definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit.
I fucking adored this film.
I am very glad you did. I wouldn't go and say I adored it, but I cannot understand how people couldn't at least acknowledge that it's fun to be with.
Like, I laughed so much, and just like, this is fucking brilliant. What's gonna happen next?
Yes, there is that element to it. Our audience, we only had 6 votes on it actually. Shit, 17%. Touching cloth, 33%. And definitely not shit, 50%.
Good on you.
And I didn't actually vote in that, so I would have voted definitely not shit.
So would I.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm quite glad about that. I thought that could have been one of those ones where everyone says it's shit and we both say we quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't mind the XXX franchise. Overall, I'm perfectly happy with it.
Overall, I don't mind the Vin Diesel XXX films, is what I'll say.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, let's do some what we watched then. So, Mark, what have you got?
What have I watched? I'll talk about War on Everyone that I watched the other week.
I tell you what. Do you want to save that for next week? So I'm halfway through it.
Oh yes, I'll save it for next week
Okay.
then. I have a couple then. Let me just. I rewatched Inception.
Cool.
First time I rewatched it in a while. And it was one of those where I just fancied rewatching it. And sort of suggested it's better. Said, I actually fancy rewatching Inception at some point. And her response was, well, why don't we just rewatch it tonight? So, yeah, and it's fantastic. It really is. It holds up really, really well. And there's a lot going on there, is what I'll say. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's amazing how pacey that movie is. For a movie that's 2.5 hours long, you get to it and I was like, shit, we're at this point already? I didn't think that got there this quick. Whoa, there's only like 40 minutes left. So it bounds through 2 hours so quickly. And it's weird watching Tom Hardy before he became kind of like Tom Hardy. You know, this was like, essentially, I think you could almost call this his breakthrough role, maybe.
Yeah, it was his coming out party, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. And, you know, what was really strange is you've got, at the time, it was 2010. It was like, these are the elite young actors of their time, along with, you know, really, you could almost add Leonardo DiCaprio into that. You know, yes, he's the seasoned pro and it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and look, we're bringing along, you know, all the, he's so hot right now, you know, fucking Empire top 10 actors to watch people. And you've got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy in there, and then, you know, Marion Cotillard's there as well. And one thing that does stand out is you can kind of see why Ellen Page's career has kind of stuttered a little bit, we'll say, because there's points where you go, yeah, she's not quite. She's a little bit out of her depth in comparison to some of the other people
I think
in this movie.
Her character is saddled with having to be the one who's got to ask all the questions, in fairness,
yes.
though.
Yeah, there is that to it, and you know, I'm not saying she's not bad in it. She's far from bad in it, but when you're putting her up against somebody, when you talk about the other lead female in this is Marion Cotillard,
yeah, that's fair.
You can kind of go, all right, Tom Hardy, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they can all about hold their own with each other, and you can quite easily state, you know, well, Leo is, the more experienced of the lot of them, and then Tom Hardy, you can see where he's kind of he's gone from strength to strength since it, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's kind of stood between being a movie star and being an indie favourite, and Marion Cotillard has become Marion Cotillard. But yeah, it's still very, very good. It's still a great watch. I was quite glad that it didn't kind of age at all, really.
Yeah,
it still looks nice.
I'm hoping they 4K that before Dunkirk.
I think they will do.
That would be nice. A nice 4K DI from a 35mm print. Maybe the IMAX shot in IMAX sections. Did they shoot any of this in IMAX?
Yeah, some of it shot.
Yeah, maybe do that in the fuller frame. That would be good. Let's get some Dark Knight trilogy on 4K. I
don't know why they haven't been put on 4K, to be honest. Those.
Dunkirk's out in it, so they're just going to time it for that. It's like, I reckon they're going to do the Alien films in 4K before Alien Covenant comes out. It's just a matter of time, I think. It's just fucking waiting for it. Because, I don't know. I need me some 4K content, man. And I need it from 4K DIs, damn it.
So you're not going to be getting 187 then?
No, yeah. So, yeah, tangent, because we were talking about that the other day. 187 is apparently coming out on 4K Blu-ray. It's like, yeah, the Indiana Jones films, Hitchcock, any number of amazing films that aren't on 4K yet. What is on 4K? Criminal, which I'll talk about in a bit. Criminal's in 4K. Exodus Gods and Kings is on 4K because that's everyone's favourite Ridley Scott film.
I quite like that.
I like. Don't get me wrong. I like Exodus. I own it on 4K Blu-ray. So there's that, but it's more because there's nothing else to buy.
Can you point out that 187 lost money at the box office? Not like a little bit, like a lot.
What the fuck was the budget on it then?
20 million.
Really?
Yeah,
that was quite a lot at that time as well, wasn't it? Fuck.
187 with about 20 million budget, and I don't think it made about 5.5.
Jesus
Christ. And that, it's become quite, well thought of since on video and everything. But it's not like it's one that's on Netflix that's constantly watched or anything like that, or a film that's actually kind of revered, like, let's say, for instance, Donnie Darko. Didn't do fantastic, I don't think, at the cinema, but, found its niche on DVD. 187 hasn't, really. I rewatched it last year, and I thoroughly enjoyed my rewatching it. But that fucker doesn't need to be watched in 4K.
Yeah, quite. It's fucking weird.
It's a really bizarre one, that. Like, it was, like literally, they took the film, went, we wanted to put this on a 4K, and he's gone, all right, cool, yeah, I'll start the rendering process and everything now, cool. And he's opened it and gone, oh, it's a weird one to put on. And he's put it back down, and like the actual thing said Goodfellas on the tin outside or something like that. He's opened it and gone, somebody's put this in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not? Let's redone it. They're going, yeah, I've done that 187. What? We've done the 4K 187. Oh shit. Oh god, that's been a horrible mistake.
At least I have The Revenant on 4K. That's going to get rewatched soon, I think.
Yeah, you said that looks incredible, didn't you? It was the best looking film you've ever seen.
Bits I've watched, best looking presentation of a film I've ever seen.
Yeah. What else did I watch? I've not watched a lot because I've been at work pretty much all the time. I watched a film called Imposter, directed by Gary Felder, and starring Gary
Sinise. Yeah, fuck, yeah, okay.
And Madeline Stowe, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Mekhi Phifer.
Nice.
In stock Mekhi Phifer role. I watched it 3 or 4 days ago, and I already can't remember what happened.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen that.
Essentially, it's set in like the 2070s or something like that, whereby an alien civilization is at war with the world, so they live in like these domed people on the world live in like these domed cities. And Gary Sinise plays a government weapons builder, and then they think that he's actually an alien imposter, and so he goes on the run and he's trying to prove that he's not an alien imposter, and then it turns out he's not an alien imposter. Actually, it's his wife, Madeleine Stowe, that is the alien imposter. Oh, but wait a minute, no, he also is an alien imposter as well.
Oh.
Yeah, in literally the quickest, oh my god, he's not the imposter, she was the imposter. Oh god, that's a twist that I didn't see coming. Oh no, wait a minute, we've opened this thing and he's an imposter as well, better kill him.
Nice.
Literally like that. Yeah. So yeah, not very good. That's it. I did start watching The Arrival.
The Arrival, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, the Charlie Sheen movie. But I got about halfway through it and fell asleep.
Fair enough.
I don't think I'm going to continue.
Fair enough. No, but we'll talk about War on Everyone next week though, because like I say, I'm like halfway through it.
I've been very intrigued to hear your thoughts on that movie.
Yeah. Okay. No, quite.
Cool. Go on. What will you be watching this week?
Okay. So, sorry, I was just checking for email on the. Oh, we do have one.
We do have one apparently. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Okay. So, so like I say, I went to the cinema 3 times in 3 days, and I watched Split, which is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new film. How much have you heard about this?
Not a lot, but I'm not bothered about hearing more, to be honest.
You're right for me to go a bit spoilery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if you are interested in Split, I thoroughly recommend you skip the next 5 to 10 minutes. Like, seriously. If you do not know the ending of Split, skip. Okay? Yeah, it's a sidequel to Unbreakable.
Is it? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so M. Night Shyamalan owns...
Oh, Unbreakable's only $3.99 on iTunes this week. It's like the special deal. Oh, that's clever marketing.
Yeah. So, the titles, Unbreakable, Split, kind of.
Yeah.
So, I'll get the big thing out the way first, just because, and again, like, even if you've heard this far and you don't, like, if that sounds interesting to you and you haven't seen it, just skip. Just skip. But, so, at the end, it's revealed that it takes place in the same universe. There is a scene, basically the film ends, title card Split, then it cuts it back. There's a diner, and there's a report on the TV, and there's this person saying like, "Oh, this sounds like quite similar to that guy who caused all those accidents on purpose like years ago." I'm paraphrasing. What was his name? And I was thinking, hang on, what the fuck? And then there's a reveal, and Bruce Willis is there and says, "Mr. Glass," and then it ends.
Oh, Bruce Willis is actually in it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, well played, M. Night.
And the film has done very, very well in the US this weekend. 34 million weekend, I think, off of a 9 million budget. So, apparently Samuel L. Jackson is in.
Wasn't this partially self-financed as well?
Yeah. Basically, he did that with Jason Blum, and so full creative control. So
it's a Blumhouse one as well. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
So basically, it looks like we're gonna get a fully fledged Unbreakable sequel with essentially Bruce Willis going up against Samuel L. Jackson and James McAvoy.
That's interesting.
Which is interesting. So,
So I need to watch this now, don't I?
yeah. Yeah. I like, seriously.
Ah, fuck, I think I might have to go and see this week.
In the cinema, I actually said, again, like with Return of Xander Cage, shut the fuck up. And two guys down in front of me just both shouted, fuck yeah. When saw Bruce
Very
Willis.
nice.
It was brilliant.
Oh, yeah, that genuinely is making me smile, sat here.
It's the thing is though, it doesn't really have anything to do with the actual film. It's just a massively random, delightful Easter egg. That like it has nothing to do with the actual film. So, the film itself, very very efficient setup. There are these girls. They're having like a birthday party in a restaurant. One of the girls and one of the girls is like a loner who she's the main girl's invited because she invited everybody else in the class, so it would have been bad if she didn't invite her. One of the girls' dads offers the girls a lift home. They all get in the car. The dad's putting some stuff in the boot. Sees someone comes up to him. What can I do for you? James McAvoy gets in the car, like sprays all the girls. They go unconscious, and then it kind of starts. Like this is like first 2 or 3 minutes. Titles play out, kind of like what you'd imagine Hitchcock would do the Psycho titles now as. And I mean there are a lot of kind of Hitchcocky kind of allusions here. So basically, story is James McAvoy plays a guy with 23 different personalities. There's only about 7 or 8 actually on screen, I think, that he plays, but that's what they say. And they're vying for control of his head. Anya Taylor-Joy of The Witch and Morgan plays the loner girl who, through kind of flashbacks about her life, it kind of shows that she might be able to deal with situations not quite like this, but of a similar thematic thing, I would say. And James McAvoy, basically, some of his personalities are quite kind and benevolent. Some of them seem to be after some other things. And a couple of them are talking about the Beast, which is another personality which is threatening to come along and basically take over. I really like Split, not just for the last 20 seconds or so. McAvoy is brilliant. He's really, really good. Treads such a good line between like pitch black comedy and actually being really quite scary. I think he does a really good job. Anya Taylor-Joy, like her character's like really broken and fractured all the way through the film, and as it goes on, you kind of understand why. But she's also clever, and she's got a real intelligence, and the way that she handles one of the personalities in particular is very interesting. It's a film that doesn't have an awful lot of flashiness. I mean, does it look like a $9 million budget film? Yeah, probably, but it has a lot of stock in its filmmaking, in static shots and sorry, 2 ticks. Sorry, what's up?
It's just you lounging on bed and you're dressing and all these legs.
Oh god, yeah, no, all right, yeah. I don't know if you heard that, but Donna was doing a little shoot with Lottie up here earlier on, so I'm literally on the bed in my dressing gown with all these lights all around me.
A beautiful sight.
Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous sight. It's a gorgeous sight. Anyway, yeah, no, he, there's very measured camera shots. There's lots of like like build up intention through wide shots and. But I mean, it's very performance driven as well. Like, there's a scene where McAvoy has to have play 7 or 8 of the personalities in his head in one unbroken shot, all kind of vying for with each other for the light, which is the bit they all put them in his head. They're all sat on chairs, and whenever one of them's in the light, that's the one that comes to the fore. And the way he does that is great. And his character is obviously psychotic, but also he's got a strain of sympathy to him. And if you I'm already thinking of the dynamic that his character could have with Samuel L. Jackson's character. If they do another one, one being the controlling the other one, I think could be very, very interesting. What I thought was going to be quite a throwaway piece like The Visit, I thought kind of turned itself into something more substantial for obvious reasons, but also just actually through the film itself. I really did quite enjoy it, and I very much recommend it. I'm glad it's doing well. I kind of wish Return of Xander Cage was making as much money, if not more, but I'm happy with Split being as successful as it has been so far. I think I think it's well worth a watch.
Cool. I might actually go and see it this week on my day off.
Nice. And not as worth a watch would be Sing, which I took Lottie to this morning. First film in a decade by Garth Jennings, of Son of Rambo and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fame. He wrote and directed this, but it's basically animals do X Factor to save a theatre.
Yeah. Looks like something that should have been made about 10 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's inoffensive, and there were moments I enjoyed. There are these squirrels that come to the audition, but they're Japanese, and all they do is J-pop, and they don't understand what's going on. They just keep on pressing play on their boombox and breaking into J-pop numbers for 5 seconds before Matthew McConaughey's character kind of shoos them away. They made me laugh whenever I saw them. Just squirrels doing J-pop. It's a weird idea, and I wish there was more eccentricity about the thing.
Do one of those, yeah.
Yeah, because the rest of it is Taron Egerton is a gorilla whose dad doesn't want him to be a singer, and Reese Witherspoon is a housewife who feels underappreciated. Scarlett Johansson is a punk rocker who decides to go more mainstream to deal with her emotional problems, and it's just, I don't know, it's very bland, very bland. And I was really, I mean, Garth Jennings, Son of Rambo, I expected more, especially when it's the first film he's had in a decade, and this is what it was. I mean, Christ, out of the Illumination films of the last little while, I'd watch Minions and Secret Life of Pets again before this. I didn't hate it, it wasn't too much there for me, and Lottie was bored. Okay, last thing for me is Criminal, which is on Netflix and 4K Blu-ray, which I quite enjoyed.
Right. This is Kevin Costner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always enjoy Kevin Costner films, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, it's I don't know. I think it got kind of a bad rap. It's a pretty generic actioner, but Ryan Reynolds gets killed. Memories get put in the brain of Kevin Costner, who's basically in prison forever guy, and he starts getting his memories and emotions and stuff. Kevin Costner plays basically a sociopath for the first half hour of his screen time, and then starts to kind of show these emotions, and it was actually pretty interesting, I thought. Not great, but more enjoyable than I would have given it credit for going in. So I think you'd probably quite enjoy it. But yeah,
it's on Netflix, so I think it's one of those ones I've hovered over a few times.
Yeah, give it a go, man. It's I thought it was all right. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's it. Should we do that email next week then, if we need to get going?
Well, we can do it now. We'll do it now.
Okay. Just try and pull it up quickly. Okay. Oh fuck. Hang on. Okay, hi lads. It's Marcus Sisu, cool. Hi lads, here's my list for the year. Biggest disappointment, Malik's Voyage of Time, 90-minute doc, made a special effort to see it at LFF, and it was a real letdown, just a poor relation to Planet Earth. I've heard that, actually.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I was actually quite excited by the idea of that, but it's several people now have all said it is just a little bit. It doesn't work as well as you think it might.
Yeah, no, quite. Biggest surprises: Pete's Dragon and Swallows and Amazons. Good old-fashioned family fun. Yeah, didn't look bad.
I've been intrigued by Swallows and Amazons. I have to give it a go.
Yeah, same. Worst of the year: I don't tend to see the utter juck that gets released, but Dad's Army was a pretty terrible effort. Yes, it was. My favourites of the year: 5, Tale of Tales, Mark's favourite. 4.
Do you know what? I dislike that so much. I forgot to put it in my worst of.
I remember, yeah, no, quite. 4, Neon Demon. 3, Evolution. 2, Things to Come. 1, Our Little Sister, another Coriader masterclass. Thanks for the year's podcasting efforts. Keep it up in 2017. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, we will be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, Twitter questions?
We have a couple, I think. Let me just double check. I had this week. Open a second, then I got rid of it. Steve Dixon at the Great SD. What are your favourite movie posters?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I saw this question. Fuck. The original Alien one's pretty great.
It's pretty fucking great. I've got most of my favourites up on my wall. So the original Rocky poster I think is fantastic. Apocalypse Now. The hand-drawn Hayao Miyazaki Japanese poster for My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh yeah, no, I have that.
Where it's not actually a still from the film. It's a poster that he drew before he kind of even made the film, and you can tell that because it's at the bus stop with Totoro, but she's not carrying May in it, whereas of course in the film she is. So yeah, that's fantastic. And what else is that? Streets of Fire poster's magnificent.
Yeah, that is a good picture.
I don't know why I don't own that. And there's a couple of Heat posters that are really good that aren't just the generic with all of them on it. There's one of them I think that's on like a black background and it says Heat, but in the letters of Heat is an actual picture that runs across, and it's a fantastic looking poster.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. So, nice one. So, next week we're doing a Danny Boyle special. We put out a vote on the Twitter account. I put it out, and then Mark said, how about these for the list? And I'd already put it out, so I'd like to publicly apologise to Mark for that. Choices were Shallow Grave, Trainspotting, A Life Less Ordinary, and Millions. I think we agreed on the top 2, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so Shallow Grave and Trainspotting.
That's a good triple bill though, that.
Yeah, no, Shallow Grave got 30% of the vote, Trainspotting 45%, A Life Less Ordinary 21%, and Millions 4%. That was out of 47 votes. But yeah.
What's really strange? I just what is it? I just Googled Heat poster to see if I could find that poster, and I went into images, and it's there. It's like the third image that arrives, and I've clicked on it just to have a look at the poster because I'm going to send you the link to it. Right, I'm off the page now, and it's from fucking swatchpile.co.uk.
Nice.
That's really fucking weird.
Nice. It's good. So yeah, and obviously we're going to be talking about Trainspotting 2 next week as well. So going to be another packed show. Right, my laptop is actually about to die, so I'll say goodnight. Mark will also say goodnight.
Yes, good night. Thank you very much for listening, and we shall speak to you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.